staff, and the community. And all day today, the fun continued. As you can see, hundreds of Leos, past and current, have came to the street fair on 3rd Street in between B and C Street. It has been the happiest homecoming on earth in 2019. Clubs came out and set up booths. Artisan and craft makers came out to sell some goods on the street fair. And of course, people were out there to showcase their talents as well. There wasn't a shortage of food either. There was a lot of food trucks out. People could get down on some amaze bowls, the green truck, pickles and peas, just to name a few. And Chris, it is the happiest place on earth, 2019 homecoming. And take a look at how everyone is.
Everyone's smiling, having a good time. You mentioned happiest place on earth. I didn't know they moved Disneyland to Laverne.
Hey, it's been the happiest place on earth for the entire week. As you see here, look at that. You had kids coming out, eating some food, clubs out here as we can see. Just about everybody. Were you there today?
I was not there today, but just look at all the fun everyone's having. Beautiful weather today. You couldn't have asked for a better day for homecoming.
You mentioned the weather. I mean, there has been street fairs in the past where it has been blistering hot, but it was perfect weather. 80s, high 80s today. All the kids coming out, a lot of balloons. There's DJ Santana, former alum from the University of Laverne. He's always out in the south parking lot playing some music and getting everyone pepped up for the game at a tailgate.
Yeah, definitely all good things. Great day. I wish I could have been there personally, but
there's always next year. Alumni can always come back.
That's true. That's true. I'll be an alumni next year.
Today's game is Whittier Poets visiting Ortmayer Stadium for against the University of Laverne Leopards. So we take a look at some of the standings of the SCIAC. Couple of middle-of-the-road teams, Chris. Laverne sitting at 1-1 along with Whittier in SCIAC. Overall, Laverne 2-3 and Whittier 2-2.
Yeah, both teams, they've hit some rough patches. Obviously, last week, we'll talk more about last week's game in a bit. Whittier coming away with that victory against Occidental last week. A lot of big things. A lot of big things riding on tonight's game.
And now we take a look at players to watch.
You got James Gonzalez. Look for him to head the rushing attack for Laverne, leading the team with 325 yards on the ground. Next, Martavius Holiday, the other half of that double-headed monster at running back, 289 yards. Look for both these guys to get a lot of play time today. Jordan Moore, another great wide receiver. They've been utilizing him a lot on the outside. 12 receptions, 2.4 receptions per game, 192 yards, 1 touchdown. He'll be a big factor in the passing game. And Nathaniel Stagastumi, another big-time receiver right there in the slot. Caught the game-winning pass 2 weeks ago against CMS.
An amazing grab, too.
He's an X factor. And Sam Taylor at quarterback. Coach Creek likes to use 2 quarterbacks in his system, Sam Taylor being one of the starters, Matt Albright being the other one. And then defensively, Connor Johnson and Preston Carr both dominant defensively. Preston Carr leads this team virtually every game in tackles. He's the leader of this defense. He's going to want to make some big stops tonight.
As we take a look at Whittier's side, Alex Ratana, the running back, 88 rushes for 398 yards, has 5 touchdowns, tied for first in SCIAC with 79 yards per game. Miguel Avina, the quarterback, senior, 170 yards through the air with 4 passing touchdowns. Laverne Martavius Holiday received the kick and went out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
Good field position, something that this team struggled to get last week. Every time Laverne got the ball last week, they were deep in their zone. Now they have some decent field position, perfect opportunity for Coach Creek and this offense to finally get something going, try and have a short memory after last week.
And it is Albright in at quarterback. Martavius Holiday alongside him to the left. Albright takes the snap, looks right, throws right. Pass is caught. Grayson Klein on the outside near the right sideline is tackled and forced out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
Working on those quick screen passes that they love to utilize. Grayson Klein able to make the reception and move upfield.
3 wide receivers set up. Down low to the left. One up top to the right. Holiday still in at back. Gets the handoff from Albright and is wrapped up immediately by the defensive Whittier.
The line collapsed immediately, and Martavius Holiday unable to find a hole in the seam.
Tomatov on the tackle. Takes it to 3rd and 8.
3rd down and 8 to go. Ball spotted on the Laverne 33. Albright in the shotgun. Holiday now shifts over to the right of Albright. 3rd down conversion, something that Coach Creek wants to improve on. Albright takes the snap. He's going to run up the middle and is going to be dragged down short of the 1st down.
That was a dangerous run, a risky run by Matt Albright. He had a receiver open in the seam. Couldn't find him, but was able to tuck it in, run upfield.
Albright got 7 yards on that rush. 4th and 1. It looked like for a second, Chris, they were going to elect to go for it. And Coach Creek has other thoughts, says, all right, we're just going to punt it now.
It's kind of disappointing, Billy. I was hoping this offense would have come out a little bit more on fire. This is an offense that ranks dead last in SCIAC as far as yards per game. Seems to be a timeout on the field.
Yeah, Whittier's going to call a timeout. Not sure if they just didn't like any fake situations. Well, you mentioned it last week. Let's go back 2 weeks ago first. Laverne knocks off CMS at home, a come-from-behind win, OT, 20-17. And then last year just fell apart and got pummeled 49-14. What happened?
I think that victory got to their head. You know, that's one of the things I talked to Coach Creek after the game last week at Pomona-Pitzer. He mentioned one of the things that this team has to learn is they got to learn how to handle a win. And I think that they felt like they won the Super Bowl or something. It was an amazing victory nonetheless, beating the SCIAC co-champions. But then you still have a lot of season left, and Pomona-Pitzer was ready for them. They out-coached them, outplayed them, just out-everything.
So here we are now, 4th and 1. They take the snap, they run it up the middle. Gonzalez on the carry, looks to get the 1st down, but we'll see where they spot it. And the chains will keep on moving. Gonzalez with a big carry.
James Gonzalez did not play at all last week. He was desperately missed. It was all Martavius Holiday on the ground, but great job from Gonzalez to spin off the tackle to get that extra yard.
A gutsy play on 4th and 1. Albright takes the snap, hands it off to Holiday on the right outside edge. Holiday gets a couple of yards and then scampers and falls just past the Laverne 40-yard line.
I like this combination of Holiday and Gonzalez. Gonzalez being that north to south runner, Martavius Holiday more elusive, able to get around the tackles. Both these guys, when they're on their game, are hard to stop, and Whittier is a team that struggles to stop the run.
A couple of all-SCIAC players a year ago, averaging close to about 100 yards a game last year apiece. Albright takes the snap on 2nd down. Holiday now running on the left side, cuts back in the middle, and is going to be tackled by a host of Poets just shy of midfield to bring up 3rd down.
Would have been a perfect opportunity for a play-action play there. Instead, decide to hold on and hand it off.
Third down and 5 to go. Ball on the Laverne 48-yard line. 12 minutes to go in the 1st quarter of the 2019 homecoming game. Albright takes the snap, immediately throws it outside to Holiday, makes the catch, breaks a tackle, got a 1st down, still on his feet at the 20, the 10, all the way in for a touchdown. Albright to Holiday, and just like that, Laverne strikes first on their 1st drive of the homecoming game.
I like that play call. Usually when Laverne does their screen passes, they do it to a receiver. This time the receiver's moved upfield, left Martavius Holiday wide open, and he's so elusive in the open field. It's hard to take him down with just one man, and he just he turned on the jets, was able to take it all the way to the end zone.
Diego Garcia checks in. A fake on the point after, they throw it in, and a 2-point conversion.
Pass is complete.
perfectly ran. How about that, Chris?
I knew they were going to run this play at some point, Billy. I saw them do this at practice a couple weeks ago. Coach Creek yelled at me.
Turn the camera, Chris. Turn the
I was
camera.
filming something else for Foyal Community News. Coach Creek yelled at me, but I saw that exact play. Work to perfection. Give it to the big guy. Let him take it in. Try and force that Whittier line to stop him. It was like watching the fridge run in during Super Bowl 20.
Oh, man. Super Bowl 20, that was a long time ago. 8-0 Laverne. 11:46 to go in the first quarter. Electric to start off.
This is exactly the start that they needed. One of the big things that Laverne had to learn is to have a short memory, not dwell on last week. Use it as a learning experience, bring it out here onto the field. And this first drive couldn't have worked out perfectly. Now it's time for the defense, the worst defense in SCIAC, to respond and try and hold off the Poets.
Moises Gonzalez recovers at the 2, running outside around the 23-yard line, and is tackled by Laverne.
Gonzalez on the return.
You mentioned the worst defense in SCIAC, and that is Laverne, giving up over 400 yards a game. And Chris, the passing game has hurt them tremendously, giving up 303 passing yards a game.
It's one of the big issues is a lot of their guys are undersized in that secondary. But the other thing is they focus too much on one scheme. Last week they were up against Pomona Pitts, a traditionally passing team. Instead, Carter Oderman ended up rushing for 4 touchdowns, so they have to adapt to the scheme.
First and 10 from the Whittier 24. Avina throws it to Moises Gonzalez on an outside screen, who picks up 8 yards, tackled at the 32-yard line.
Now, one thing I'd like to see is with this defense, because they're undersized, I want to see them try a little bit more zone. They're fast, even though they're undersized, so they can go in there and break up plays. Look out for Torrey Hilbert out there at cornerback. He's a big playmaker. He doesn't care how big the receiver is. He's up for the challenge, and he will stop. He will make a big play.
He leads Laverne with 2 interceptions this season. 2nd and 1, and there's going to be a timeout for Whittier. It's their second charged timeout in just the first 4 minutes of the game.
Whittier, their second charge timeout of the half.
So they'll have one more timeout for the rest of the half.
That's terrible clock management right there. They're going to need those, especially later in the second quarter, if they want to try and score.
8-0 is the score. The Leopards on top of the Poets. 10:55 remaining in the first quarter. Billy Lopez alongside Christopher Livingston. It'll be 2nd down and 2 to go for Whittier. We mentioned Laverne having a difficult time guarding the pass. Well, Avina, the quarterback, loves 2 receivers, Moises Gonzalez and Akeem Williams Jr., 2 of the top 5 receivers in SCIAC in terms of yards per game. Akeem set up, now in motion. All the way out to the left side. The lefty Avina takes the snap, has nowhere to go, is going to have to run it outside, picks up the first down himself.
This is something a lot of offenses like to do against the Laverne defense. They like to spread the defense, open them out with a passing play, and then the quarterback able to slip out through the back and find open field. That is one thing that Carter Oderman was able to do against Laverne a lot last week. They need to do a better job at putting a spy at linebacker, kind of put him in a zone, still in coverage, but at the same time watching the quarterback.
Avina out of the shotgun. Ratana to his right, takes the handoff, runs up the middle, picks up about 3 yards, tackled at the Whittier 37-yard line.
Good defensive stop by Laverne, able to plug up the hole immediately.
Alex Ratana with 400 rushing yards now on that carry for the season. He's about 150 shy of breaking his career pace that he set a year ago. Pair of receivers, Gonzalez and Hakeem Williams Jr. to the left. Moises Gonzalez in motion, over to the right. Avina takes a low snap, looks left, throws left, pass is caught at the 42 and tackled right away.
complete.
That was a nice tackle by Laverne. Robert Franklin, the safety,
Aaron Goldman.
wrapping up the ankles.
The receiver able to find that space in the zone of being able to find him. But great job by Robert Franklin to get that tackle immediately.
Pass was complete to Aaron Golmitz. Third down and 2. This is the best team on third down. Whittier, they complete 53% of the time on third down. Pass is caught up the middle to Moises Gonzalez. Another first down for Whittier on third.
Another issue with the defense as far as their coverage in the secondary, they can never get to the quarterback. They can never rattle him. That defensive line has to do a better job trying to rattle the quarterback and get him under pressure, force him to make throws off his back foot.
Only 3 sacks all year for this Laverne squad. Second to last, only to Occidental, but Occidental's played 2 less games than Laverne. A handoff to Ratana, the big guy's running up the middle, outside to the left for a decent gain on first down.
Great awareness by Ratana. He found a little hole in that line, and he was able to just squeeze through. I'm not sure how a big guy like that was able to squeeze through that small of a hole. But he was
just
able to
force
find
that hole. 3 really good running backs that we're having the privilege to see today. Ratana for Whittier, but completely different than Gonzalez and Holiday on the Laverne side. Ratana very big and strength-wise. Laverne out of the shotgun. Pair of receivers to both sides. Ratana gets the handoff, runs up the middle, is close to a first down. We'll see where they spot it. They spot it on the Laverne 36, 3rd and 1.
You can give this Laverne defense credit on one thing. These guys can hit, especially against the running back. 2 weeks ago against CMS, they took out both starting running backs, which helped out with that victory. Look at them to try and hit Ratana hard.
4 wide receivers set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Avina takes the snap, rolls out to the left side. He was looking for the first down himself. I think Laverne was able to hold him. And they do. It's going to bring up 4th down for Whittier. Laverne went for it on 4th in a very precarious spot. Right here, I think Whittier is almost guaranteed to go for it.
You kind of have to at this point. Yeah, it's still early in the game, but you don't want to give Laverne that momentum. Now, at the same time, you could still punt deep and challenge that offense to try and do what they just did in the last drive. It'll be interesting to see.
A bad snap that's fumbled. Ratana has to pick it up on the outside, and it's a turnover on downs.
I wonder if they planned that out, the way that it went. Rushing to the line, the ball just kind of squirted out as Avina tried to dive in, and then Ratana able to pick it up. I think they planned it like that.
I'm not so sure. It looked like it was coming straight out of the shotgun, as they've always had, Chris. And then Avina ran up to the line. I thought they were going to go with the quick QB sneak and try to catch Laverne off defense, and the snap was just bobbled. Either way, turnover on downs. So the defense that has struggled all year long gets a big stop early on in this game. 6:15 to go in the first. Here's Gonzalez running outside to the right, gets a couple of blocks, a spin move, and is tackled shy of the 45-yard line. 2 flags were thrown at the spot of the tackle.
Now some great patience by Gonzalez running to the right. Well, now we know why he had that patience in a good hole. A holding call.
A holding on Laverne. The most penalized team back-to-back years, Chris. Penalties were an issue last year, and they've continued to plague Laverne once again, giving up over 100 yards in penalties a game. Albright takes the snap, hands it off to Gonzalez, who gets a big hole, rushes up the middle, and is tackled at midfield. First down for Laverne.
Nice hole up front for Gonzalez, but even better job using that speed upfield, lowered the shoulder, drilled one of the defenders, still able to get a couple extra yards.
They go hurry up. Gonzalez takes the snap, fumbles it as the ball's popped out, recovered by Whittier. Gonzalez had another hole, went for it, was trying to reach for an extra couple yards and let the ball out of his hands. A takeaway for this Whittier defense.
That's Gonzalez's second fumble in the last 2 games that he's played. And that is a momentum killer for Laverne. A big benefit for Whittier.
Huge momentum killer. Gonzalez just had a big gain. They went hurry up offense, was gonna have another big gain. And then dropped the cookie at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, ball spotted on the Whittier 39. A handoff to the running back for Whittier, who has nowhere to go. That's Joshua Shields, the backup for Ratana. This Whittier defense is a young team, 5 starting freshmen, but now with 11 takeaways on the year, good enough for 3rd and Skyak. 4 wide receivers set, a pair to the left and to the right. Avina throwing deep to Moises Gonzalez. Pass is caught at the Laverne 40, and the tackle is made right at the 40 as well.
That was a beautifully thrown ball just out of reach of a defender and able to land right into the arms of his receiver. Great throw by Avina.
Miguel Avina, a 4-year player at Whittier and has blossomed into a star this year. Over 1,000 passing yards already through the air. 7 passing touchdowns. 3rd and Skyak, having his best year leading this Whittier offense. 1st and 10 from the Laverne 39. Avina takes it, pitches it off to Shields on the left side, who is pushed out of bounds after a couple of yards to bring up 2nd down.
Nice little gain there, running to the outside. There's a timeout on the field.
Shields picks up 4 yards. As there's an injured player on the field. So officials will give a little bit of a break. 8-0 is the score. 4:18 to go. Pretty wild start to the beginning of this game.
It has been. It started out perfect for Coach Creek and the Leopards, and then this last drive, the fumble kind of hurt what they were trying to do. Whittier now has a perfect opportunity to respond, even though going 4 and out on that last drive. But now we're starting to see him spread the field a little bit more. A nice big pass play will kind of put that defense on their heels, and then they just have to utilize the running game, use play action against this defense that struggles really to stop anything.
And Miguel Avina, a mobile quarterback, has thrown over 1,000 yards through the air, but can also get it down in the rushing game. 170 rushing yards on the season to go along with 4 rushing touchdowns. So you're talking about a quarterback, kind of a dual threat, Chris. 7 through the air and 4 on the ground.
These quarterbacks, that's the thing about college quarterbacks nowadays. They can do it all. They can run it, they can throw it. I hate to keep referring back to last week, but that's exactly what Pomona Pitzer did. Carter Oderman able to put it in the air as well as on the ground.
Joshua Shields, the injured player for Whittier, hobbles off the field. 2nd and 5 from the Laverne 34. Whittier trails by 8 in the first quarter with 4:13 to go. Avina takes the snap, the lefty throws, pass is caught on the left side, tackle is made. It's close to a 1st down, and they get the 1st down. The chains keep on moving for this Whittier offense.
If you look at Laverne's secondary, the way that they play, their corners are usually way way off. They're not pressing these corners at all. So they're getting just the necessary, these receivers are getting the necessary space they need to hit their routes.
Jake Mateko on the reception a play ago. On 1st and 10, a handoff to the right side. Tackle is made by the Laverne front 7 to bring up 2nd down.
Alvarez, the ball carrier. Hunter Johnson.
Last season, Laverne's defense was able to help them in their victory against Whittier at their house. 2 interceptions, 4 sacks, a fumble, 3 turnovers total. Whittier was only able to get 1 fumble off of Laverne.
2nd and 6 for Whittier on the Laverne 24. Avina throwing up the middle. Pass is complete once again. That's Daniel Cruz, the junior,
First down.
with his first reception of the game.
Making the stop.
See, just right there, just exactly what I said a couple plays ago. The corners play way too far off of the receivers, so they're just able to make those quick cuts inside, and Avina will find them.
1st and 10 from the Laverne 16. Whittier, after the fumble recovery, have marched their way all the way to the Laverne side and are in the red zone. They trailed by a possession. A handoff faked. Avina looking towards the end zone and overshoots his target intended for Jake Mateko.
That one was on Avina. He had plenty of time. He just couldn't hit his man, just threw it overhead. If he would have narrowed that angle, he would have hit his man in the end zone for 6.
Yeah, Mateko was wide open. It was a play-action pass, and Avina got hurried just a little bit, saw a couple of Laverne players running at his face, and let it fly just a little too much. 8-0 Laverne, 2:20 to go in the first quarter. 2nd and 10. Ball still at the Laverne 16. Hakeem Williams Jr. set up to the left. Now is in motion. A handoff up the middle to Alvarez, who picks up a few yards to bring up 3rd down.
Martinez. Making the stop.
Good job by the linebackers of Laverne to stop the running back from making a big play. I thought the hole that I saw was pretty big. He could have found the end zone, but great job by those Laverne linebackers.
3rd down and 5 to go. Ball on the Laverne 11. Right around this territory is where you gotta make sure you know where number 14 is for Whittier, Moises Gonzalez. 4 receiving touchdowns this year. Avina throws intended for Moises and overshot his target. 4th down.
I think Laverne got away with one there. I thought that was going to be a potential pass interference.
There was a lot of hands on the play.
A 4th down.
But big 4th down stop.
4th and 5.
Sam Osta.
Whittier comes in for the field goal attempt. Sam Asa, a freshman. It's a short kick, and it goes in between the uprights. So Whittier's on the board with the field goal. Scores now 8-3 Laverne with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go in the first quarter.
If you're both teams right now, you got to feel good about what just happened. Whittier, yeah, they didn't find the end zone, but they still got 3 points despite going 3 and out on the previous drive. Laverne has to be happy that they didn't give up a touchdown after that fumble.
Very well said, Chris. 8-3.
Hear that Laverne pep band pumping up.
Kickoff. Martavius Holiday picks it up at the 5. running outside to the right, spinning his way towards midfield, tackled just past the 35-yard line. A big day for Martavius.
As I mentioned before, that's something that Laverne struggled with last week, was trying to get good field position. Martavius Holiday would try to return it. He'd get a decent return. They get a penalty. Now once again, another drive, decent field position, time to capitalize.
First and 10. Martavius Holiday alongside now Sam Taylor. Taylor on the quarterback keep on the right side. Breaks the tackle at the 40, the 30. A little stop and go action and is wrapped up at the 18-yard line.
Sam Taylor, although I like him better as a pocket passer, he's dangerous in open field. He scored 2 touchdowns on the ground last week against Pomona-Pitzer. Gave that offense a little bit of a spark in the fourth quarter. He can make an impact when he is on point.
First and 10 for Laverne. Ball spotted on the Whittier 15. Taylor under quarterback takes the snap, hands it off to Holiday. Holiday running up the middle, keeps his feet churning as the Whittier players come up to him to bring up second down.
Now for me, I'm typically a fan of continuity on your offense, utilizing one quarterback throughout the season. But the way Coach Creek is able to use Albright and Sam Taylor, using both of them to their strengths, Albright more of the passer due to his height compared to Taylor.
Second and about 5 to go. Ball spotted on the Whittier 10. Holiday on the carry, gets about a yard.
6-yard line.
Third down for Laverne in the red zone with 15 seconds and counting. It appears
looks
that
like
Coach
they'll let it
Creek
run
is
out.
gonna let the clock run out. That's the final play of the first quarter. They'll draw up something for third down and 1. The first quarter expires. Laverne 8,
2019 is an important
Whittier
year in many
3.
ways for the University of Laverne. It marks the 50th anniversary of our regional online and Kappa program.
What'd you see from the first quarter?
You were here last night. You saw the birthday cake.
Well, a lot of positives for that Laverne offense. Making big plays, able to capitalize on those big plays. Something that they really didn't do last week. Last week is basically the benchmark for a lot that I'm going to refer to because it was awful. I'm not going to lie. The defense needs to do a better job getting those stops, getting off the field. That's something that they've struggled with all season.
The University of Laverne led the way in offering these programs 50
But overall, Coach Creek and this team has to feel good the way that they've started this game out. Now starting the second quarter, beautiful field position with a chance to add even more points on the board.
So with the start of the second quarter, it's going to be 3rd and 1 for Laverne. They're right on the doorstep of scoring another touchdown. This is the most efficient team in SCIAC in the red zone, Chris. 81% of the time, they're getting points. Sam Taylor in at quarterback, takes the snap, hands it off to Gonzalez in a little I formation, who peeks ahead. It's going to be close.
Holiday, the ball carrier. It is a first down.
They give him the first down, 1st and goal for Laverne.
You gotta love James Gonzalez's patience in those situations. I saw him, he's kind of straddling behind the line, kind of sifting through, trying to find a hole. Once he found it, he took that opportunity.
On the 6-yard line.
Taylor in at quarterback, 3 wide receivers set to the left. Holiday in the backfield. Holiday takes the snap, stiff arms a defender, and works backwards now, probably for no gain.
Tried to cut outside, but the defensive end was able to grab a hold of his jersey, bring him in, and knock him down.
2nd and goal for Laverne. Homecoming 2019.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Packed crowd. A lot of Laverne faithful, alumni, current students, family. Everybody's here. Taylor takes the snap on the quarterback keep. Gets through into the end zone. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. and third in the last 2 weeks. Laverne, another score.
In from 4
They
yards
love
out,
to
full
utilize that
score.
type of running scheme against any team when they're in the red zone. Taylor, he's fast and he's very aware of his surroundings. He's able to find the hole, he's able to find the gap, and he takes no chances. He'll go straight at you and knock you in the mouth.
Diego Garcia in for the point after.
Number 49, Mason Summerman.
Summerman holds it. Garcia drills it. 15-3 rather. In the second, 13:52 to go in the second quarter. A 2-possession game for Laverne.
Now it's time for the defense to do their job. Like I said, one of the big things that they struggle is getting off the field.
They were all able to get a turnover on downs in the first drive, and then the second drive, they bend, but they didn't break. Gave up a field goal around the 10-yard line. Herrera Caballero for the kickoff. Deep back to receive for Whittier is Moises Gonzalez alongside Zeri Clark. Zeri Clark bobbles it, makes the reception, and here he goes past the 20 and the 25. He is tackled just shy of the 30.
Now you got to wonder what sort of adjustments is Whittier going to make on this next drive. Have they identified a way to really attack this Laverne defense? We saw a couple good pass plays from Laverne, a couple missed opportunities that could have given him 6.
I think for Whittier, you just got to rely on Avina, rely on your receivers, and keep going to that passing game, because outside of Ratana, these backup backs haven't been able to rush for much against this Laverne front seven. Avina takes the snap, has all day in the pocket, looking deep to Hakeem Williams Jr., makes the catch at the 20, the 10, touchdown Whittier. The deep threat, Hakeem Williams Jr., makes the reception for his 3rd touchdown of the year.
I called it. I called it. I said, look for a big pass play. There it was. Hakeem able to beat his man. That's the issue with the corners playing so far off the receiver. It gives him the opportunity to break past him a lot easier. And just a beautifully thrown rainbow by Avina.
Just dropped it in there on a dime. Sam Asset in for the point after. Kick is up. The kick is good. So Whittier on one play, 56 yards. Avina to Williams Jr., 15-10.
Expect this game to be high scoring, Billy. I mean, both these defenses, they struggle.
Laverne struggles guarding the pass. We saw a reason right there. Avina to Hakeem Williams Jr.
Now, how does Laverne respond? How does that offense come out here and respond after that? They just got off the field. Now they got to come back out.
Holiday deep back to receive the kickoff. Ase kicks it to Holiday. Holiday at the 8, scoops it up on the right side of the field, running towards the sideline. A nice tackle by Whittier at the 31-yard line. Heck of a play.
Good run by Holiday, but he took a shot into the legs right here in front of us. But he's able to jump right back up and run to the sideline.
I don't know, I'd be out of commission after that hit, especially right there around the shins.
That's how Laverne took out the backup running back for CMS 2 weeks ago. Huge shot to his knees. Had him rolling on the ground, and you knew he was done after that.
Sam Taylor in at quarterback, takes the snap, the righty, throws high to his intended receiver.
Taylor had his man open, just couldn't put it in his chest, threw it over. But a nice little out route there ran by the receiver.
Jared Beeman was the intended receiver. First time we've seen a look at him in today's game. Taylor takes the snap on second down, hands it off to Gonzalez on the left side, who's breaking a few tackles on a couple of spin moves and then finally is buried down to the turf to bring up third.
He's a hard runner. I thought he was going to get taken behind the line.
Meta Mazan, big number 99, the junior, had to literally jump on the back of Gonzalez to bring him down. 3rd and 10 from their own 31.
Watch Sagastumi in the slot.
Trio of receivers to the right, one up top to the left. Gonzalez is the back. Taylor takes the snap, escapes the pocket out of the left side, keeping his eyes down the field, tries to rush, and is tackled at the 35-yard line, 4th down for Laverne.
Great response by Whittier. I mentioned Sagastumi in the slot. He got laid out in the middle of the field by his defender, a guy that's about looked like a 1.5 feet taller than him. Whittier did a great job taking away all of Albright's options. Taylor's Albrights forced him to run.
You're watching LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. It's the 2019 homecoming game. Laverne with a 15-10 lead. A booming punt that's high, not very far, bouncing at the 35-yard line, goes and is picked up by Laverne.
Whittier has to be feeling good about that 3 and out, and then even better about that passing touchdown. See, they come back out and do the exact same thing to try and take the lead here with 11:53 left on the clock.
You've had everything going for you in the passing game. Why would you shy away from it?
And as I mentioned, that previous drive, that passing play, Avina had all day back there and was able to just air it out perfectly. That defensive line has to do a better job getting to the quarterback.
Andy Alvarez in at back. A handoff to Moises Gonzalez, who was tackled on 1st down to bring up 2nd down. Pickup of 3, 2nd and 7 for Whittier.
3 yards, but 3 yards on an early down. You can't ask for much more than that.
Ball spotted on the Whittier 36. 3 wide receivers set up to the left, 1 up top to the right. Avina on the keep, wrapped up by Connor Johnson. 3rd down.
So back-to-back runs by Whittier. I would have thought that they would have attempted to air it out on the first couple plays. But now they are in a passing situation. Let's see what they do here.
Preston Carr, big number 9, wrapped up. Avina immediately. 3rd and 4. Still have yet to see Ratana back into the game. Laverne gets some pressure up to Avina. Avina motioning for one of his receivers to do something. He picks up the 1st down himself. Late flags come in.
I think those flags are gonna be on Laverne there. Late hits or something.
The refs converge. We saw a couple of big bodies come together, and immediately after the smack, flags were flying.
Legal block in the back. Offense. 10 yards from the spot. Replays 3rd down.
I stand corrected.
Yep.
Big break.
Whittier trying to get a block in the back, and unfortunate for Whittier because he had the green light for that 1st down. No need to do that. So that sets them back 5 more yards. 3rd and 9 now from the 34-yard line. 15-10, Laverne over Whittier. 10:20 to go in the first half. Alvarez in at back. Avina takes the snap on 3rd and 9, stays in the pocket, fires a bullet to Moises Gonzalez, who loses the ball, picked up by Laverne. Laverne recovered, another fumble, this time on Whittier, popped out of the sure-handed receiver, Moises Gonzalez.
Bad break for Whittier. Gonzalez had the ball. He had the first down. All he had to really do was just drop to the ground. Great job by Laverne, not only to rip the ball out, but have the awareness where the ball is to jump on it.
You know what, Chris? I say this about each defense. Both of them struggle for different reasons. But both of them now have 11 takeaways on the season, tied for 3rd in SCIAC. So they get down and dirty, they get grimy, and take the ball away when they have to. Here's Albright in at quarterback. Hands it off. Spin move by the running back outside towards the middle for 3 yards, 2nd and 7.
It's Keyshawn Robinson in at running back now.
Saw a bit of him last week against Pomona-Pitzer with Gonzalez on the shelf.
Robinson, no doubt, to take the reins as a starting running back after this season once Holiday and Gonzalez graduate.
What a couple of guys to learn from. Holiday and Gonzalez. Robinson shifts over to the left of Albright now. On 2nd and 9, Robinson shifting his way towards the left. Another short pickup to bring up 3rd down.
And you look at Robinson, he's small but quick like Holiday, but he's also strong enough where he's not afraid to run north and south like Gonzalez.
It's kind of a mixture of both of them. 3rd and 6, so they ran it to Robinson 2 times. They get a combined total of 4 yards. Ball spotted on the Whittier 44. Can Laverne convert after the turnover? Albright takes the snap, rolls out, almost tripped up, is going to run it himself for a 1st down on the right side. By the shoelaces, he got that 1st down.
He escaped one. That could have ended horribly for him. The shoestring tackle failed.
1st and 10 for Laverne. Ball spotted on the Whittier 33. 8:30 to remaining in the 2nd quarter. Pair of receivers to the left of Albright, one to the right. Albright, handoff to Robinson, stiff arms one defender, wrapped up at the 30-yard line, 2nd down.
Good run to the outside. He had a little bit of a hole. If he would have cut inside just a little bit quicker, he would have been able to find a lot of open field there.
Mark Tomikoff in on the tackle, big number 48, freshman, leads the Whittier Poets team with 2 sacks on the season. Lined up on the right side is Mark Tomovac. Albright looking near the sideline. 2nd and 6. After the 4-yard rush by Robinson on 1st down. Ball spotted on the Whittier 29. Albright takes the snap. A 5-man rush. Albright has to escape to the right side, looking down the field, throwing it out of bounds, incomplete.
I don't really know what was going on there on that play.
It's intended for Mason Thomas.
They had
19.
They had both receivers running seam routes up the sides. Nothing but open field in the middle. No receiver was in that area.
Brings up 3rd and 6. Albright hands it off to Robinson on the left side. Robinson still on his feet, gets the 1st down and more, and is wrapped up at the 15.
Nice run by Robinson, finding the space he needed and just taking full advantage. Cut up field, and he was gone.
It's the worst team on 3rd down in SCIAC is Laverne. They're not too good on 4th down either, but a 4th down kept their opening drive alive. They scored. This time they get the 3rd down conversion. Robinson runs right into his lineman and is tackled right after. Well, we saw Gonzalez and Holiday, a little bit of the patience there. There we see Robinson a little amped up, ready to go, ran right into the entire line.
That's something he's going to have to work on, just trying to be patient, wait for the play to develop, and then take advantage of the hole.
2nd and 9. They give Robinson 1 yard on the carry. 3 wide receivers set. Albright once again hands it off to Robinson on the right edge, who runs in between the guard and the tackle on the right side. Still on his feet, won't go down, but they're going to call the play dead. 3rd down.
Another tough run to the outside for Robinson. Holiday comes in at running back, and Robinson runs to the sideline.
3rd down. What do you say, Chris? If they can't convert here, do you bring out Mika?
You would like to see it.
Perfect 1-for-1 in her career. It was around the same spot, 27 yards out.
Well, I mean, what better of an opportunity to bring her out than on homecoming night?
Albright hands it off to Holiday. Holiday stays on his feet, finds the end zone. Touchdown, Laverne.
The hole that Martavius Holiday ran through was huge. You and I could have ran through there.
The offense is looking really good for Laverne. Diego Garcia comes on in, lines up. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 22-10 Laverne, a 12-point lead for the Leopards. 5:39 remaining in the half.
You got to give Laverne a lot of credit. To bounce back the way that they had so far after last week. Their offense generating little to nothing last week, and to come out, put 22 points on the board in the first half, and be able to fight and gain turnovers on the opposing team.
And you mentioned, Chris, this is a team that struggles on homecoming. They've lost
the last 2.
They haven't won since 2016. One that went into double overtime. That was a wild game 3 years ago. Caballero on the kickoff. Deep back. Scooped up by Whittier on the right side, and a big hit on Zuri Clark. Amps up the crowd on the Laverne side.
Everyone reacted the way that I felt on that play. Just a huge hit. That woke everyone up.
1st and 10 for the Poets from their own 25-yard line. They trail by 12 points, 5:37 to go in the first half. On 1st down, a handoff up the middle, a big hole. Big run for Whittier to move the chains on 1st down. Andy Alvarez once again for Whittier with a big carry.
You know, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, Billy. I have not seen either of the first 2 starting running backs for Whittier in a while. So, as I mentioned, Laverne does a great job of taking them out of the game.
We saw Joshua Shields hobble off the field, who was the backup. We still haven't even seen Ratana as the pass is caught just shy of midfield on the right side. Good enough for a 1st down. That's number 26, Mateko, on the reception.
Gave him too much space to make his cut to the sideline. He was wide open.
Ball spotted at the Whittier 49-yard line. 1st and 10. Whittier with 4:30 to go in the first half, and they get the ball to begin the second half. So if you put up a score here, you're in good position moving forward. Avina all day now has to escape the pocket, spinning his way through. Not a sack as he picked up 5 yards on the rush.
They've put him under pressure finally for the first time this game, but you got to get him down behind the line.
Picked up 4 yards, 2nd and 6. As Whittier now is in Laverne territory on their 47-yard line. 4 minutes to go in the first half here at beautiful Ortmayer Stadium, the 2019 homecoming game. Laverne up on top, 22-10. 3 wide receivers set, 2 to the right, 1 down low to the left. That's Hakeem Williams, Jr. Avina looks right, throws right, passes caught by Mateko, who's pushed out of bounds, a pickup of 3 yards. 3rd down and 4 to go.
Good patience by Avina back there. There was a little bit of pressure, but he was able to stick back there, find the open receiver, and let it fly.
The Whittier player just
Official timeout.
was walking down and then just dropped to both knees.
It looks like Noah Ramirez, the sophomore guard.
Halftime ceremony. Meet at the south end of the stands by the snack bar. Thank
You
you.
see him still down on the floor.
Injuries are mounting for Whittier right now. Obviously, like we mentioned, I've been scanning this sideline. I have not seen Ratana at all, or Shields on the sideline, so you got to wonder what's going on there. And then now losing Ramirez could hurt this team even more.
Yeah, the offensive line has been able to hold the pass rush away and give Avina a lot of time in the pocket. You bring in a new lineman and sometimes the chemistry isn't quite there. So Ramirez goes down. He's on the sideline being tended to. Busy day for the athletic trainers today. 3rd and 4, big play for both squads. 3:16 to go in the first half, 22-10 Laverne. Avina looking for his receiver at the 20, incomplete. Overshot his receiver, Mateko. Hilbert
Just
got
a
handsy.
little over the head of his receiver, but Derek Shea, number 52, was able to fight through, jumped high to try and deflect, and I think that threw off Avina's pass.
And on the coverage is Torrey Hilbert. Very handsy on the play, but the refs early on letting the defense play on these receivers. A big 4th down, 4th and 4. Avina faces pressure up the middle and he's sacked. Only the 4th sack of the season, but what a timely one to kill this Whittier offensive possession right around midfield, and Laverne's gonna get the ball back.
Brandon Aragon got to him that time. Finally, someone got to the quarterback there, able to put pressure, and they were just able to contain him, keep him in the pocket, and finally drag him down for a loss.
2nd time Laverne has forced Whittier to turn the ball over on downs. 1st and 10. Great field positioning, Chris, from their own 49-yard line. Albright in at QB on his 3rd drive of the game. Takes the snap, immediately faces pressure up the middle, escapes to the left side, running out of bounds to pick up a few yards, bringing up 2nd down.
These quarterbacks for Laverne, they don't like to sit in the pocket very, very long, it seems like.
They see an ounce of pressure and they're ready to move. Albright once again, this time rolls out to the right side, intercepted. It was nearly picked off by one defender, bounced in the air, and right there on the spot, able to scoop it up. Nicholas Perez, the junior linebacker, followed his other defender. Another turnover.
And that is the struggle for these quarterbacks when they get a little antsy when they feel an ounce of pressure, as you just mentioned. That time, Albright had time. If he just rolled out, found his man, but he rushed that throw and hit the wrong guy.
Hit the guy in the white and missed the guy in the orange. Whittier now with the ball back. From their own 49, a pass is caught by Moises Gonzalez, who shoved his own player to the ground on a stiff arm. Picks up 8 yards, 2nd and 2. Ball spotted on the Laverne 40, so a 9-yard reception for Moises. 2nd and 1. The sun is setting here at Ortmayer, but the game is still well alive. 2:19 to go in the first half. Whittier working from right to left. Avina fakes a throw, escapes, rolls out to the left. Pass is complete near the sideline at the 29-yard line. Daniel Cruz, the junior receiver, rolling out on a comeback route at the 30-yard line. First down for Whittier. 2 minutes and counting left in this first half. 22-10, Leopards have the edge over the Poets, but the Poets are within striking distance.
Could be a big break for Whittier here if they can score before halftime.
4 wide receivers set for Avina. 3 to his right, 1 to the left. Avina pitches it off to Andy, who is pushed forward for about a yard or 2. 2nd down.
Great containment by the Laverne defense. They swarmed immediately to the running back.
Jason Martinez making the tackle on the Laverne 38. Check that, 28.
Let's look at this weather, Bill. You could have asked for a better evening for homecoming.
And it's beautiful. Got a nice breeze coming alongside now. Absolutely stunning.
Which is good because the day games have been brutal here in the heat.
Tell me about it. Avina takes the snap, throws right, pass is complete to Hakeem Williams Jr., tackled at the 20-yard line. Sets the first down for Whittier, and they're in the red zone once again.
I want to see these cornerbacks for Laverne press the receivers because they're taking full advantage of the space. Look right in front of us, the corner about 10 yards off.
On 1st and 10, the first option wasn't there, so Avina uses his wheels and runs out of bounds at the 12-yard line.
No containment on Avina there. Letting him do just what he wants.
7 on the play.
2nd and 3. Ball spotted on the Laverne 12-yard line. And getting out of bounds, Avina able to stop the clock at 1:15. They're still in their huddle. The play clock is down to 13 seconds. So they get to the line now. They're going to have to hurry up and snap it at 5 seconds. Avina comes set, takes the snap on a keep himself, has nowhere to go. Picks up about a yard to bring up 3rd.
Cameron Johnson making the tackle. Ball on the 11-yard line.
Good stop there by the Laverne linebackers. Avina had a little hole there, but they took advantage of it and stopped him.
On 3rd and short, Avina faces trouble, rolls out. Mikey Bloomfield chasing him, throwing it near the end zone, and sailing out of bounds. Incomplete. Oh, there's a couple of gates out there that Whittier just pummeled through.
Someone check on those gates, make sure they're all right.
There's some plastic fences, and they went down like a sack of potatoes.
But good job on that Laverne defensive front. They're finally starting to get pressure on Avina. They're starting to force him to make bad decisions. And once again, another opportunity where he could have thrown into the end zone, but threw it over his receiver's head.
4 down territory. 4th and 2. And before, they're going to get a timeout on Laverne, their first of the half. Are you surprised going in for it on 4th right there? They drilled 1 field goal.
You need to. I mean, right now Laverne's offense has been on point, minus for the turnovers. You don't want to fall too far behind, especially on the road.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. And even if you get the 3 points right now, Chris, you're still looking at a 2-possession game because Laverne went for a 2-point conversion and converted on it in the opening drive. So right now, 12-point game, you got to get a touchdown if you're Whittier. But if they do get a touchdown, Chris, the game's flipped over. They're getting the ball back to begin the second half, and it's anybody's game.
I was about to say that exact same thing. You score, you get yourself within 5, you get the ball back, you can score again on the at the beginning of the second half, put yourself up, and then force Laverne to have to play offense, force them to have to open up their playbook.
Here we go. 4th down. 2 yards to go. Ball on the 11. Verne in at quarterback. A quick throw, incomplete. Batted away by Laverne.
Mason Montana covering on the play.
3rd time Whittier has turned it over on
43
downs.
seconds left.
43 seconds.
Great read by Montanez to put his hand to get there at to his receiver and bat the ball down immediately. And I could see some frustration coming from Hakeem Williams and Moises Gonzalez, who were both open in the end zone, but just the pressure in Avina's face forced him to throw it right there in the middle.
And Taylor, quarterback.
So Taylor is going to take the snap and take a knee. And we'll have to take a knee once more, but just like that. That'll wrap up the first half, 22-10, 30 seconds and going. What do you think so far?
It's worked out very well for Laverne this week compared to last week. The only issue is they still have to play better. You're giving up easy turnovers, which against really any other team in SCIAC, they'll punish you for it. Laverne has been very fortunate that Whittier's offense has not been clicking and they've been making just as many mistakes.
The whistles blow. Both teams will retreat to their respective locker rooms. A lot of injuries in the first half for the Whittier side, including both of their running backs, Montana and Starks. And their 3rd guy up has not had a lot of success early on.
Yeah, looking at these stats right now, Laverne still losing the total yards battle, 239 for Whittier, 222 for Laverne. It's been the rushing attack, though, for Laverne, 168 to Whittier's 53. But then Whittier able to capitalize on in the air, 186 to Laverne's 54. So both teams utilizing their strengths. Laverne losing right now the turnover battle, 2 turnovers to Whittier's 1. I mean, it's one of those situations, like if you look at the stats, you would not assume that the score is what it is.
No, not at all. You'd think it's probably dead even. Whittier 10, Laverne 22. It's a 12-point lead for the Leopards at halftime. You're watching SCIAC football on LVTV 3, Laverne Community Television. Take a look at more of the stats here at halftime. We saw Albright and Taylor. Not a lot of passing for Laverne, 54 total yards, both from Albright. We see the rushing game for Laverne has been there. Sam Taylor, the most rushing yards, 58. Gonzalez had a few big plays, but had the big turnover. And Holiday looked really good in back-to-back weeks.
Those 2 guys, Gonzalez and Holiday, they are tough to stop, and they have proven in the past to be a handful for Whittier. But what I want to see, and I've always been, maybe it's just me, but over the last couple seasons, I've always been critical. I want to see them throw it more. But it seems like Laverne always runs 2 different types of passing routes. They either go short, they either go for the screen pass, or they go deep. They never do anything in between. I would like to see those intermediate passes. I want to see you utilize Nate Sagastumi a little more. I want to see you use these smaller, undersized, quick receivers in the middle of the field to try and help spread out the defense more. Then it opens up your running game more. Then it allows you to attack offensively the way you want to.
Congratulations.
The newly inducted Leo royalty are alumni who were court members when they attended Laverne, including Board of Trustee member Wendy Lau, 1998. We also have a special guest on the field, Margie Bothwell, the homecoming queen from the class of 1969. Margie is back on campus to celebrate her 50th reunion from Laverne College. Also, Damon Alacron, class of 2000. Margie is back on campus to celebrate her 50th reunion from Laverne College. Welcome home, Margie, and the class of 1969. Please give a warm round of applause to welcome in our new 2019 Leo royalty and welcome the esteemed alumni court members. That wasn't very warm. Let's give it another try. How about a warm round of applause? Much better. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your attention directed towards the field where we will be recognizing some of the top Leopard athletes from last year. First, representing men's water polo is Chucky Ortega. Chucky had an outstanding year in his first season at Laverne. He led the SCIAC with 81 goals and earned All-American honors. Put your hands together for Chucky Ortega. Next, representing women's water polo is Jasmine Kesman. Jasmine had another great year for the Leos and earned All-American honors for the second year in a row. Would also like to recognize Gorina Garcia, who entered her Leopard career with her third All-American honor. Let's hear it for Jasmine and Gorina. Next, representing volleyball, Christian Sanchez and Kelsey Sievers. The pair capped their Laverne careers with spectacular seasons that earned them each all-region accolades. Kelsey also earned All-American recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, Kelsey Sievers. And abstentia, Christian Sanchez. Now representing softball, Sienna Kendricks. Sienna capped off her outstanding Leopard career with her third All-SCIAC honor and her first All-Region selection. One more time, Sienna Kendricks. Representing baseball, Cody Norman, Adam Santa Cruz, and Chris Perez. Check that, Adam Santa Cruz is not there. Cody Norman and Chris Perez. Cody was tabbed All-Region by the ABCA for the first time in his career. Adam earned 3 D3Baseball.com and ABCA All-Region honors for the second year in a row. Chris had one of the best seasons in Leopard history. He was named SCIAC Baseball Athlete of the Year, earned ABCA and D3Baseball.com All-Region honors, was named the Anthony P. Scafani Athlete of the Year as Laverne's top male athlete, and selected both an ABACA and D3Baseball.com All-American. Let's honor the two men again with a nice hand. Next, representing women's cross country is Melissa Cerrillos. Melissa, along with teammate Rachel Dela Cruz, earned all-region honors. For Melissa, it was her third straight all-region accolade. She also became just the third woman in Laverne history to earn a trip to the NCAA cross-country national championships. In track and field, Melissa earned all-region honors in 2 events and earned a trip to the NCAA national championships. Melissa was also named the Jesse I. Scafani Award winner at Laverne's top female athletes. One more time, Melissa Cerrillos. Next, from men's and women's track and field are Kyle Ambett, Matt Salas, Jade Griffin, Ebony Turner, and Michaela Crumweedy. The group, all along with Rachel Dela Cruz, earned all-region honors and also earned a spot at the NCAA National Championships. Also representing track and field is Elizabeth Provadillo. In her first year at Laverne, she picked up 2 all-region honors, earning a trip to the national championships and finished as an All-American with a school record finish in the heptathlon. Let's hear it again for Liz, Kyle, Matt, Jade, Ebony, Michaela. Finally, we'd like to recognize the 2019 SCIAC champions, the University of Laverne's men's golf team. The conference title was the team's first since 2013 and 10th in program history, led by all-region selection, Hassam Hussein and Pam Panamachi, and SCIAC coaching staff of the year, Realty, Eric Rioli, Jim Nicholson, and Joe Scavrin. The squad earned a bid to the NCAA championships. Let's hear it for your 2019 SCIAC champions, the Laverne men's golf team. And let's hear it once more for all of our stellar athletes. And I'm out of breath.
Take a look at everyone being honored there at midfield. Everybody announced by the PA announcer. Halftime score 22-10. Both teams kind of accomplished what they wanted to accomplish in the first half. Laverne came out firing on offense. Whittier was able to get their passing game going a little bit, 186 yards through the air. Big strike to Hakeem Williams Jr. for their only touchdown of the game. They got a field goal. It's a 12-point game, but you got to still figure, Chris, that both teams feel like they haven't won anything yet.
Once more,
no, they definitely haven't.
And
athletes. As mentioned, turnovers has been a big factor. Laverne's given the ball up twice. Whittier only once. But something is gonna give in this next half. One of these teams is gonna come up on top. Laverne right now, they're cruising. They got everything going the way that they wanted to right now. But on the other end, Whittier's probably looking at these same stats. They're like, you know what, we could probably air it out over these guys a little bit more. So look for Ravina and that offense to spread out a lot more in the second half.
Me, I drink wine and ginger. And want me for wine, anything, I'm gonna play that. And I drink wine and ginger. And want me for wine, anything, I'm gonna play that. And after rum and not a sorrow. Guess I'm drink away in sorrow. I guess I'm not care about tomorrow. I guess I'm not care about tomorrow.
The University of Laverne cheer squad. And would you believe I taught them that routine?
There was the cheer squad dance team for Laverne. At
the dance team. You got moves like that, Billy?
I still do, Chris. Tell you what, next week if they allow, I'll take a step right out of the booth here and go out there and go solo.
You heard it here, folks. That is some must-see TV right there.
Halftime is winding down here at Ortmayer Stadium. The score at halftime, Laverne 22, Whittier 10. You're watching LVTV3, Laverne Community Television.
Hi, I'm Terry Bradshaw. Like many of you, I took the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge back in the summer of 2014. It was cold and It was a lot of fun. But there's nothing fun about ALS. It robs a person of their ability to walk, to talk, and to eventually breathe. It's also fatal, usually within a few years, and is emotionally and financially devastating to thousands of families across America. It's truly a brutal and nasty disease. But we're making progress thanks to many of you. Since the Ice Bucket Challenge, we've seen new ALS genes discovered, new technology developed that helps people with ALS, and new potential treatments in the pipeline. We still have a lot of work to do. I'm no scientist, but I can tell you this, if we can cure ALS, we can cure anything. Please join me in the fight against ALS.
Some say e-cigarettes aren't dangerous,
But science shows nicotine can harm teens' developing brains.
no matter how they're exposed.
Let's do an experiment to find out.
Here's a teen who won't be using e-cigarettes.
Now we need one willing to risk their brain development.
Anyone care to volunteer your kid?
Anyone?
Your kids are not an experiment. Protect them from e-cigarettes.
We meet online, and I tell you, I'm falling in love. I have to see you in person, but I need a loan for the ticket. I really think you're the one. And I really think you're desperate. Sure enough, you send cash and never see me again. Too smart to fall for this? Last year alone, 12 million Americans lost money this way. Can you believe it? You shouldn't. I made that up, too. Might not be as smart as you thought you were.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
My daughter is Bella. She was diagnosed with anaplastic ependymoma tumor. The people are doing their job so good and carefully that every child is special for them. By the grace of God, we have reached to St. Jude and we have got a lot. Treatment, accommodation, transportation, food, everything. And they will not charge you anything. It's hard to believe that it's happening in this world.
Halftime has just about ended here at Ortmayer Stadium. Laverne with a 22-10 lead. As we take a look at some of the halftime stats.
That's right. 239 total yards. These are little inflated numbers. We apologize. Laverne with 222 yards of total offense to Whittier's 239 total yards of offense. 168 yards on the ground for Laverne to Whittier's 53. Meanwhile, on the field, Whittier receives the kick.
There's the receiver running out of bounds just shy of the 25-yard line on the left side. Those stats were enormously inflated. Apologize.
There's some post-game stats right there. 636 total yards for Laverne. Wow. What a first half.
You know, I saw that it was 400 and something for Whittier, and I didn't even blink an eye, but then I turned over and saw the 600 for Laverne, and I was like, okay, something's wrong here.
That would have been over 1,000 yards of total offense between both teams.
That would have been remarkable.
In one half. It looks more like a rugby match than anything with those types of stats.
So penalty on Whittier on the kickoff return. 1st and 10, now spotted it from their own 10-yard line. Avina, his pass is batted away. 2nd down.
That defensive line is starting to find their groove, find the rhythm, especially now here in the first play of the second half, getting to the quarterback. They're starting to put Avina under pressure, force him to make those bad throws.
Whittier working from right to left on the field. They trail by 12 here in the third quarter. Laverne, the senior quarterback, a quick pass to Moises Gonzalez on the outside. Pass is complete for about 5 or 4 yards to bring up now third down.
The design screenplay, wide receiver screen, read perfectly by the Laverne secondary, able to get the stop and bring him down to third down.
6 yards pickup. 3rd and 4, ball spotted at the Whittier 16-yard line. 22-10 Laverne with 14:18 left in the third quarter. It's the opening drive of the second half for Whittier. On 3rd and 4, Avina takes the snap. Faces a 5-man pressure. The pass is batted by Laverne, Preston Carr, and then Moises Gonzalez was able to have the wherewithal to stick with it and make the reception for a first down.
That deflection, you know Preston Carr was trying to hit that thing towards the ground, but it was so high, he was able to tip it up a little bit higher and able to just fall into the hands of the receiver. Great awareness by that receiver to find it.
Moises Gonzalez, one of the top receivers in Skyac, alongside Hakeem Williams Jr. Both of them top 5 in receiving yards per game. 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. Avina takes the snap on the keep himself, gets a first down, and is tackled at the 35-yard line.
Laverne playing a soft zone on that play. Avina able to find a gap and just take advantage of it and rush. Good gain by the quarterback.
As we take a look at Hakeem Williams Jr., 88 yards receiving per game. That's 2nd in Skyac. And Moises Gonzalez at 82 yards is 4th in Skyac. Both of them wearing white. Hakeem Williams set up down low to the left side. Moises Gonzalez now in motion, moving to the left as well. A handoff to Andy Alvarez, who gets absolutely nothing on first down, tackled immediately by Leopards.
The rush attack for Whittier just hasn't been there since Shields and Ratana were knocked out earlier. And that's a benefit to Laverne because now you force Whittier to be one-dimensional.
Not to mention the two rushers who were knocked out with injury, but a member of the offensive line as well. A screen pass to the left side to Gonzalez once again, and Moises is close to a first down, but is going to be shy to bring up third down.
Defense showing a lot of grit. They're swarming to the ball carrier on every play. And gang tackling, that's something that's important, is to just get everyone around the receiver and bring him down.
Send the house at him. 3rd and 1 for Whittier. Ball spotted on their own 47-yard line. 11:35 to go in the third quarter. A 12-point lead. The band trying to get the crowd hyped for this third down. There goes Andy Alvarez outside. Pressure up the middle. And Laverne finally gets to Avina for the 2nd time of the day. 2nd sack for Laverne.
Avina tried to roll left. The pocket collapsed. Cut back to his right. No one there. Saw nothing but orange jerseys. And the defensive line able to bring him down. Great sack by Mikey Bloomfield.
Mikey Bloomfield alongside Tyson Brown getting in on the mix. Laverne came in today, Chris, with 3 total sacks already with their 2nd one today. On 4th and 8 from their own 40, Whittier's forced to punt, a 3 and out. And here's Laverne trying to work up the field, tackled at the 27-yard line. So Whittier's first drive came up short. Now Laverne will get their look at things as right here in front of us, Chris, Joshua Shields came out of the locker room. He's on crutches, so not a good sign for Whittier.
As I mentioned, this Laverne defense is notorious for taking out running backs.
4 for 4 in their past couple of home games. Here's Holiday on first down, picks up 5 yards, tackled at the Laverne 32.
The last 2 defensive drives for Laverne could not have worked out any better. They prevent points in both drives, and what virtually, like, if Whittier would have scored, they'd be in the lead right now.
Absolutely right. This Laverne defense needed to come up big their past 2 times, and they did. Sam Taylor in at quarterback for the Leopards. Martavius Holiday in the backfield alongside him. Pair of receivers to Taylor's right and one up top to the left. Taylor takes the snap, hands it off to Holiday. Holiday running up the middle on the right side for 2 yards, 3rd and 2.
And the other benefit about this, it helps out the offense out a lot, because now Coach Ravelas, he's not under pressure. Now he can open up his playbook and run his offense the way that he wants to.
3rd and 2 to go from their own 36. Laverne in the orange and green. Taylor with the flag, kind of a free play, throwing it intended towards the right side, incomplete. We'll see what the flag is all about. Pass was overshot.
Offside.
Intended for Mason Thomas.
5-yard penalty, resulting in a first down.
Thomas looked like he stopped on that route. If he would have kept going, Taylor could have found him easily.
Well, the 5-yard defensive penalty gifts Laverne a first down, 1st and 10. Now from the 40. As we see the beautiful sunset on Ortmayer Stadium. Sam Taylor on the quarterback keep. Picks up 5 yards. 2nd and 5 from their own 45.
That is definitely a photogenic sunset from our vantage point.
It's absolutely stunning.
I'm going to take a picture of that with my phone and post it in my calendar.
Back to football, 2nd and 5. Sam Taylor comes in the shotgun. They look towards the sideline to Coach Creek. Holiday moves to the left side. Rolls out to the left. On the quarterback keep, Taylor picks up 3 yards. Tackled around the 47-yard line. 3rd down.
3rd and 4 from the 46-yard line.
Laverne with a 12-point lead, Chris, can get down to their bread and butter and keep running the football. Not only are they getting first downs, but they're also chewing a lot of clock off the game. On 3rd down and 4, Holiday breaks the tackle and is going to be pushing towards midfield. It's going to be just shy of a first down, 4th and inches.
4th and inches.
Big play here, because now,
Hamilton making the tackle.
if you're Laverne, 4th and 1, do you convert or do you give Whittier great field position?
Flags flying everywhere. Taylor, a free shot looking towards the right sideline, incomplete on 4th and 1.
Offside, defense, number 53. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Some score updates, Billy, on what's going on in Skyac. Redlands destroying CMS 45-6. CMS has not been the same since that overtime loss here at Ortmayer.
That's now 0-3?
That is 3 in a row.
Wow. Meanwhile, Redlands is rolling alongside Chapman as well. A quarterback keep once again is Sam Taylor. Picks up 2 yards on first down, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, speaking of Chapman, they beat Occidental at their homecoming game. At Occidental's homecoming game, 56-23.
Well, top 2 teams, Redlands and Chapman, both undefeated. Middle of the pack teams here at 1-1 apiece, Whittier and Laverne. Of course, the benefit for Laverne is they have yet to play Chapman or Redlands. A handoff to the left side, Martavius Holiday running all the way, cuts back, picks up about a yard, tackled at the 40-yard line of Whittier. 3rd down.
Back to Sky, we have one more game tonight at 7 p.m. Cal Lutheran at Pomona-Pitzer.
That's going to be an interesting one. Cal Lu doing really well this year. Pomona-Pitzer had a great performance last week, 49-14. As Cal Lu's actually the other undefeated team. Redlands has a loss, 2-1 on the year. Skyac just flipped
the ruling on the
upside
field
down.
is we had a fumble recovered by the offense. It'll be 3rd down.
Ball must have came out really late. And fortunate enough for Laverne, they were able to stay on top of it. So the ball's still in their possession, 3rd down from the 45. Taylor out of the shotgun. Looking near the sideline. 4 wide receivers set, 2 to his left, 2 to his right. Working from left to right. Taylor takes the snap, drops back, looks dead center, throws, and it's caught in the end zone. Just shy of the end zone. Holy smokes. In between 3 defenders, Mason Thomas makes the grab. What a throw by Taylor.
That was a great job. That was a bad throw, but a great catch. The ball was short. If you could have caught Thomas in stride.
Holiday breaks into the end zone, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. Laverne scores on their opening drive. A couple of penalties on 3rd and 4th down kept this drive alive for Laverne, and they were able to benefit and put points on the board.
That could really be the dagger, putting Laverne up now by 18. But there's still plenty of football left, still over 20 minutes total in the half.
We've definitely seen stranger things these past 3 years. As Diego Garcia drills it through the upright, 29-10 is the score.
Laverne 29.
Laverne with a 19-point lead.
10.
See, for Whittier, it's still not fully out of hand just because of the fact that they can air it out, and that is the Laverne defense's weakness.
Yeah, for Whittier, they can easily come back and score in a minute or 2. Laverne, it's a little tough. They're more of a ground and pound type of offense that is slow and methodical but gets the job done. Whittier, we've seen it. They've connected on one of their drives, Chris. 1 play, 56 yards, touchdown.
It can happen. They can change it.
Thorough.
Whittier has 2 very dynamic receivers.
Arturo Herrera Caballero in for the kickoff. As he comes running, boots it near the end zone. Zuli with the catch, running the ball out from his own 3-yard line, spins, and is tackled at the 25.
If he would have kept his footing off of that spin, he could have been gone.
So we take a look at the replay of the impressive catch by Mason Thomas.
First and 10 Poets from their own 27.
It was just a short pass, but Thomas, great athleticism and concentration to keep his eye on the ball and hold on to it throughout the catch.
Just unbelievable. Unbelievable grab. So 5:44 to go in the 3rd. Whittier failed to score on their first possession. Here's their 2nd, a quick throw out to Moises Gonzalez and a beautiful tackle by Laverne. And that's going to be a penalty flag, probably unsportsmanlike conduct.
That's definitely what it is. Flexing to the crowd. I don't necessarily find that as...
After the play was over, dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Laverne, number 4. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down. That's number 4's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
I guess that's the difference between Division III with everything else. I guess you can't flex and hype up the crowd.
Well, Connor Johnson, 15 yards and a 1st down. You know, from our vantage point, yes, it looks like just a flex, but we also don't know what was exactly said on the field.
That's true.
So Avina facing pressure, Bloomfield coming at him. Avina has to escape the pocket and hurdles out of bounds, picking up 5 yards with his feet.
The keeper.
Yeah, it's something you don't want to do if you're Laverne, is to shoot yourself in the foot, metaphorically, of course, by making bad penalties and keeping the drive alive.
2nd down and 5, exactly 5 yards Avina was able to pick up, as the running game has been all but abandoned by Whittier. Andy Alvarez, their 3rd string running back, in for injuries. Avina takes the snap, is looking middle of the field. Pass is incomplete out of the hands of Moises Gonzalez. That's one he's going to want to have back. Just absolutely let that one slip in between.
That would have been a beautiful catch from Gonzalez. But one of the things I was liking was the double coverage that they had on Hakeem. Torrey Hilbert pressing him, had help on the safety. They had Hakeem basically knocked out of the play, and then just a beautiful reaction by the safety to come in and disrupt the potential catch by Gonzalez.
Hakeem Williams Jr., so you can see, just out of the hands. Set up down low to the left. The lone receiver to the left. The quarterback keep himself. 1st down for Avina and the Whittier Poets.
The keeper picks up the 1st down.
Between him and Taylor, they both look really impressive on the ground.
That's something that Laverne defensively struggles with is, and I've mentioned this, keeping the quarterback in the pocket, preventing him from being able to move out of it. And a lot of those times, once he finds a hole, once that offensive line is able to get that protection, the quarterback is able to identify and just run through, and there's usually a lot of open field there in the middle.
Vina with over 30 yards rushing on the ground. Takes the snap on 1st down. Steps up into the pocket. Looking deep for Williams Jr. Incomplete. And there's a flag. It might be
a pass interference or defensive holding call.
Yep, it looked, as soon as the ball was thrown, we saw the flags around Hakeem Williams Jr. Of course, it's 20 yards back from where the pass was actually, intended for.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 16, 10-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
And that's why you see the flag about 20 yards back from where the pass was. Held up Hakeem Williams Jr. on his seam route and got caught. So a couple of penalties now, and 1st and 10 for Whittier. So similar to how penalties gifted Laverne in their drive and kept it alive to eventually score. Whittier now the beneficiaries of there. 1st and 10 now on the Laverne 36-yard line. And Miguel Avina, the senior quarterback for Whittier, takes the snap, pressure coming up, escapes left, will run it out of bounds at the 30-yard line himself to bring up 2nd and 6. Ball spotted at the 31.
Whittier utilizing a lot more passing plays this drive, and that can really hurt Laverne. We just saw that holding call. It's one of the toughest things to cover a guy defensively, and especially when you're running like that, when the quarterback pulls out of the pocket like that, it forces these receivers to move to that same side, and that's when a lot of these holding calls come, because these defenders don't want them to cut any direction.
This drive has lasted over 5 minutes, 3:40 to go in the 3rd. Avina, a quick throw to Williams Jr., makes the catch. 1st down and a little bit of more. Tackled at the 17-yard line.
Great throw, great catch by Hakeem Williams. Under duress, able to make that catch under pressure and still gain a couple extra yards.
Just a few steps late on defense as we see this replay right here.
He just cuts inside. Perfect timing route.
1st and 10 for Whittier. Ball on the Laverne 17. Whittier in the red zone. Once more, they're 1 for 2 today. Avina facing pressure, passes incomplete near the left sideline and the pylons intended for Moises Gonzalez. And that blind side of Avina was very close
I was about to say that same thing. If he held onto that ball a split second later, he was going to get popped, and that ball would have popped out.
Absolutely, 100%. No way he's keeping a hold of that ball. But the poise and the wherewithal to have that mental clock in your head to just know when to get rid of the ball. Pass was incomplete on first, so second and 10. Ball still at the Laverne 17. The Poets are trying to etch a comeback here late in the third quarter with 2:59 remaining. Fake handoff, and Avina will keep it himself. Tackled by Mikey Bloomfield. A gain of about 2 yards, 3rd and 8. Ball spotted at the 14.
Gain of about 3 yards on the play.
Whittier trying to spread the secondary open to allow Avina to try and make these runs. Laverne has had great awareness in this drive to know where he's at and to prevent him from making any big runs. This is a big play coming up.
The most efficient team on third down at 53%. Here's Whittier on 3rd and 7. Laverne sends the house, and Avina takes it to the house to Moises Gonzalez. Touchdown, Whittier.
Play covering 14 yards.
They sent just about everybody at Avina, and Moises Gonzalez was right there, dead center of the field.
That's the big risk you take whenever you blitz, and especially when you show blitz just prior to the snap. Avina, great poise in the pocket, able to find Gonzalez one-on-one in the end zone up the seam.
Samoset in for the point after, buries it in between the uprights. 29-17 is your score, Laverne, with a 12-point lead now. And once again, Whittier, when they need a score, they find a way to score and are right there.
They made some questionable play calls at the end of the first half and on that first drive in this half, not utilizing what they do best, throwing the ball, and they were able to bring it all out here. Thanks to a couple of major penalties by Laverne as well.
Penalties gifted them. Unsportsmanlike conduct, automatic first down, holding automatic first down on what would have been a 3rd down and leading to a 4th down for Whittier. Both times, they kept it alive.
Now, how does the Laverne offense respond?
2:12 to go in the game of the third quarter. Montavious Holiday picks it up at his own 4-yard line, is going to run it out on the 25, around the 30, and jumps out of bounds at the 32. Laverne's in a dangerous spot here, Chris. You know they want to run and chew up some clock, but if you play a little too timid, you might put yourself in a position to where if you don't run well on 1st and 2nd, it's 3rd and long, and then it's a 3 and out, you're giving the ball right back to Whittier.
That's true. They got very fortunate on that previous drive from that catch by Thomas. Otherwise, this game could be looking a lot different.
Handoff to Gonzalez. We've seen him a few times. Runs outside on the left side. Stiff arms his way out of bounds at the 39-yard line. A pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
We have a Leopard down. Slow to get up. Nate Sagastumi, he was injured earlier in the season.
I tell you, the crowd's getting fired up. They must have wanted something. They get a flag. The refs are coming together.
See what the verdict is.
Offense.
Well, the crowd's not going to like that one. That's going to send Laverne back.
Number 54, 10 yards from the spot. Replay, 1st down.
They were calling for a flag. Unfortunately, it wasn't the type of flag they wanted.
Careful what you wish for. That's a 10-yard misfortune. Still remains 1st down, but 1st and 20.
And Laverne is not good in this type of situation because this forces them to have to pass it.
A quick pass out to the left side. Incomplete. Out of the hands.
And another injured Leopard on the ground.
Official timeout for an injury.
Jared Beeman was the intended receiver, tried to catch it and run before he completely caught it. It's Trevor Goulet, left tackle for this Laverne offense, is down on the field.
That's a costly injury. You never want to lose your left tackle.
Huge.
We have a driver's license.
He has that responsibility to protect the blind side of the quarterback. And now you have to fill in with someone that probably doesn't have the same amount of experience. But Goulet able to walk on his own power, kind of assisted right now to the sideline. Hopefully he returns in this game. It will be a huge loss if he doesn't come back.
Ball spotted on the Laverne 21-yard line. 2nd down and 19. Taylor takes the snap, hands it off to Gonzalez once more. And on 2nd and 19, they pick up 2 yards. Makes that 1. It's 3rd and now 18. And 1:30 to go in this 3rd quarter.
That holding call was costly for Laverne because now you're 3rd and very long. You have to air it out. You have to try and get this 1st down. While at the same time, they can't do what they want to do, run the ball and kill the clock.
They stay on the ground, and Gonzalez picking up about 12, but when it's 3rd and 18, you're still short well before that 1st down. So that brings up 4th down. Laverne's going to send out their punting unit, Arturo Herrera Caballero, deep back to punt it. Moises Gonzalez on the opposite side of the field is standing at the 35-yard line, now retreats a few steps back, is waiting the punt from Herrera Caballero.
This is going to be a very exciting 4th quarter, Billy.
And we wouldn't have wanted anything other than that. It's a great punt for Laverne that gets a favorable bounce. They pin him within the 20, right around the 10.
You know, Laverne's got to be frustrated the way that previous drive went, but for Whittier, they are feeling good. I saw them hyping each other up on the sidelines. Let's see if they use that same energy out on the field.
They looked pretty good offensively in their last drive. They got the benefits of a couple of penalties. They kept their drive alive. It'll be at the Whittier 11-yard line, so they got a long 89 yards to go to find the end zone. 29 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. 29-17, Laverne up on top of Whittier here in the homecoming game for Laverne.
Can Laverne secure their first homecoming win in a couple years, or will Whittier spoil it?
Lavina has all day, now faces pressure, escapes out, throws near the sideline, intended for Moises Gonzalez. They're signaling for a catch, and the refs are saying, nope, he was out of bounds. Hakeem Williams still trying to bargain, and they didn't want to buy what he was selling. 2nd down.
Unfortunately, no replay here in Division III, so he can't challenge the play. It was a tough call. It was tough to see from our vantage point.
So we take a look at our replay, of course. Let's see.
Now his knees landed out of bounds. Good call by the referees.
You see that right knee and left knee, both on the white marks out of bounds. Almost jumped the snap early, and I think Laverne did. So a free play looking downfield. Williams Jr. off of his shoulder, incomplete.
Big break by Laverne.
Offside, defense.
Number 43. 5-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
Ouch.
Caught them off guard. A free play regardless, but that would have been a touchdown.
Man, the deep threat of Hakeem Williams Jr. It's just really tough to stay in front of him. And he burned that defense once again.
Williams turned on the Jets just a little too early. He would have maintained the same pace that he had. That would have been a grab, and he would have been gone.
But the sideline, you mentioned the sideline just pumping up this unit. They said, next play, Hakeem, next play. That type of mentality will get you going. 5 yards to go after the holding. Avina somehow escapes the pocket, gets the 1st down himself, diving towards the 25-yard line.
The first down.
Cameron Mooningham making the tackle.
And
Ball
that's
out
going to
the
be
26.
That's the final
the end of the
play
third quarter.
of the third quarter. Scores 29-17, Laverne over Whittier. You're watching SCAG football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television.
Following the game, there will be a 15-minute cooling off period.
That previous play
At
just
which
before
time
half.
Fans
No,
will
just
be
before
allowed
time
on the
expired
field.
in the
This
quarter.
is kind of unusual. The fans
Whittier had that play designed perfectly. They spread the defense out. Laverne able to bootleg it and just move upfield, gain a decent amount of yardage.
So we're time to announce the homecoming court announcement. This year's 2019 court. John Ceja, the class of 2020, and Bronx Munoz as well, class of 2020. Both of them the Leo royalty of 2019. Of course, it was announced at Founders Hall. A former royalty herself from years back came out as well. What a ceremony every single year. Just gets better and better, and in front of historical Founders Hall. You'll struggle to find any other beautiful places in Laverne, and there's Bronx Munoz and John Ceja, both of them royalty of 2019. Laverne escapes after the pressure is near him. Will run it out of bounds once again at the 30.
Some extracurriculars there on the sideline.
It's Mikey Bloomfield getting into it a little bit.
Bloomfield got rocked a little bit on that block. I heard it.
Avina is just, I don't know how he escaped that last attempt by Laverne, but somehow, some way he did. And he had two guys up at his face, and he just does this beautiful footwork spin move away from the defenders and is able to keep the wherewithal, the poise, and the presence to keep his feet moving down the field.
And that's a smart move when he does turn like that, because then the receivers are going to turn their bodies, and that's going to force, is the blitz.
A little dump off pass to Moises Gonzalez once again after the blitz is unable to get to Avina in time. First down for Whittier.
I thought Avina was going to get rocked there on that blitz. I saw the corners coming in, not undefended, unguarded. But back to what I was saying, like when Avina escapes a pocket like that, the receivers move in the same direction. And for these corners, these defenders, they don't want to lose the receiver, so they're going to grab onto the jersey, they're going to hold, and that can benefit Whittier because it could result into penalties.
First and 10, ball spotted on the Whittier 47-yard line. They trail by 12 here in the fourth quarter. A lot of football left, 13 and a half minutes. Passes zinged to Moises Gonzalez in midfield and tackled at the 30-yard line in Laverne territory. Another first down.
Those plays are dangerous for the Laverne defense when Avina has all the time in the world in the pocket. He will find his receiver, and he will hit him, as we just saw.
Just an absolute bullet to Moises Gonzalez. We saw him miss one catch, and that's a rarity. This time he buries it right into his hands, protects it, and is tackled at the 30-yard line. First and 10 in Laverne territory. Whittier trying to score on back-to-back drives.
This passing game's starting to find rhythm.
Once again, they hand it off now. Up the middle. You know, give credit to Whittier. They had both running backs injured, Shields and Ratana, but they haven't completely abandoned the running game. It's just that it's not the same effectiveness as Shields and Ratana were having with Andy Martinez.
It's not, but it's also not a bad play and not a bad idea to utilize the run still, because the way this passing game is working, that defense is focused more on the receivers, whereas now we've seen Avina run, and now we see the running back utilized on a couple of occasions where they can get some potentially big gains.
Pass is caught on the right sideline to Hakeem Williams Jr.
Pass to Hakeem Williams for the first down.
Well, I tell you, though, if Whittier scores on this drive, Laverne is going to start sweating a lot on their sideline.
I think that sweat is already happening on that sideline, even for the fans who aren't even on the field playing. It's a 12-point game, but Whittier seems to have taken control of this football game. 12 minutes exactly remaining in the game.
And they've taken the crowd out of it, too.
1st and 10 from the Laverne 14. Williams, junior in motion. Comes off to the left side, a little work around Moises to Avina. The pass is caught, diving towards the end zone. And that's shy of the end zone, but that's gonna bring up 1st and goal. A nice little end around, flip to Moises Gonzalez, and then you find the QB right there in the flats.
A little Whittier special right there. Nice little trickery. Good job by Avina to make the grab, because we've witnessed historically in the past, as you see, beautiful hands, keep moving, dove for the line, for the goal line, wasn't able to get there.
2 yards short. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Avina now takes it on the QB sneak, diving near the end zone. It's close.
Waiting for the signal.
Touchdown.
Score. 2 yards out.
Bring on the sweat, Chris.
Now, if you're Whittier, do you go for 2? Regardless, you're still going to have to score a touchdown. But wow, what a comeback thus far for Whittier. They have turned on those Jets. They've got that momentum going with that passing game.
Looks like they will go for 2. You know why they're going for 2. If they get it, it's a 4-point game. They score a touchdown, then they'll have that field goal. 3-point lead rather than 2-point lead. Passes intended for Moises Gonzalez, incomplete, no flags, 2-point conversion, defended successfully for Laverne. But Whittier strikes again, and it's a 6-point game. 29-23, 4th quarter, 11 minutes to go. Homecoming 2019.
We are in for quite an ending here. A lot rides on this next drive by Laverne. How do they respond?
Now, Laverne likes playing tight games here at Ortmayer this year. You had the privilege of calling 2 weeks ago an exciting game against CMS. An OT thriller, game-winning touchdown to Nate Sagastumi.
It is. Well, one thing you got to give Laverne a lot of credit for is they don't give up. They don't quit. They're a gritty team. They like this type of battle, but they're not used to playing in the lead. Usually their wins have been coming where they've come back from behind.
Martavius Holiday once again sets up Laverne beautifully all the way past the 30-yard line for Laverne.
Making a tackle.
10:55 to go in the game. Laverne 29, Whittier 23. A little student section on the north to the south side of the field. Laverne keeps it on the ground. There's Gonzalez stiff-arming his way towards the right sideline, stays on his feet, pushed out of bounds, and a flag is coming out. At the moment, it's an 8-yard rush on 1st.
Everyone holding their breath right now to find out that penalty. If it's a holding call, this puts Laverne back in the same situation they were in the previous
Face
drive.
mask. Defense, number 5.
That one's going to help him.
From the end of the run. 1st down.
Thank you very much, says Gonzalez. No wonder he wouldn't go down. Had to be dragged by his face mask. Outside. 1st and 10, now in Whittier territory on the 42. Sam Taylor in at QB. Has split time with Albright today, just as he has done all year long. Gonzalez looked like he had a hole, and a great scoop tackle right there, going for the legs and wrapping him up. Picked up only 2 yards, 2nd and 8. Sean Hamilton, who leads Whittier in tackles, was able to get it right there.
2 on the play.
Now Laverne able to go back to their original plan. Run the ball, try and kill some time.
Taylor on the keep himself. Gonzalez trying to pick up a block or two. And Taylor's wrestled to the ground after picking up 2 yards himself. 3rd and 6, now within the 40-yard line of Whittier.
That was great pursuit by the Whittier defense. I saw Taylor. He looked like he was trying to make that move, that cut upfield 3 different times and couldn't find an opening. Every time he tried, Whittier closed in. Now you're at a 3rd and 8. Big play here.
You hear the sideline for Whittier getting up and getting ready for it. A keep by Sam Taylor, no one near him. He's got a first down at the 20. A block ahead of him, being dragged in just shy of the touchdown at the 1-yard line.
Inside the 5.
Wow. Can we talk about that block upfield? Thomas threw his defender, through him.
Man, oh man. If anything, that's even a plus for Laverne, because now you get the clock to go a little bit more, and you're still on the doorstep of scoring.
You see,
1st and goal on the Whittier 1-yard line. Taylor out of the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez tiptoes into the end zone. Touchdown, Laverne.
Gonzalez.
And from a yard out for the score.
Just like that, Laverne responds.
Diego Garcia.
He's looking a little tight there, but there's still just under 9 minutes left. A lot can happen. We've seen Whittier score on 1 play.
Summerman, the long snapper.
Diego Garcia in for the point after for Laverne. Kick is a beauty, splitting the uprights. 36-23, Laverne back on top by now 13 points.
See, Gonzalez just cuts one way and just waltz into the end zone. Easy run for him. Little to no effort needed on that play.
Shane could have ran that one in for a touchdown right there. Had about biggest hole you could have ever imagined. Now the focus shifts back to that Laverne defense. You just got to contain and withhold Whittier from making it any close. 8:59 to go in the game. We're in the 4th quarter, 36-23. Laverne looking to go 2-1 in SCIAC. Whittier would fall 1-2 if they lose this game.
Now I challenge this Laverne defense to come out and make a big play. They have given up 401 yards already in this game. Big statement hit right there.
That's one way to start it. Zuri Clark had a tough time. It was a bobble from with the 5-yard line.
Zuri Clark has been wrecked on a couple of returns in this game.
And he's still right there walking. A little upset with himself, but he's still good. 1st and 10 from the Whittier 20. A long 80 yards to go, but they got the offense to do just that. Moises in motion. A handoff to Moises. Moises is looking down the field. Incomplete, out of bounds.
I don't know if I would have done that play on the narrow end of the field. Gonzalez had no room to really roll out, and the way the defense, the secondary of Laverne was set up, they had the receiver completely triple covered.
That was Mateko, who was the intended receiver. I would have liked that play, Chris, if it was Hakeem Williams Jr. running on that seam right there on the right sideline. That would have opened up. Everyone and their mom would have had to go and guard Hakeem Williams. That would have gave Moises Gonzalez the option to just run. And here on a 5-man rush, hit as he throws, passes, going to be caught near the sideline, but did he get within?
They signal the catch.
Incomplete.
Wow, I thought it was a grab.
I thought so too.
Incomplete pass. 3rd down.
But man, Avina took a shot as he let that one fly.
That was a big break for Laverne because that receiver was wide open. But due to the pressure, obviously Avena not able to find his target.
And now 3rd down and 10. Whittier now in 4-down territory with 8:42 and down 2 possessions. 4 wide receivers set. Alvarez, the lone back. Avena takes the snap. The lefty is going to look deep towards Hakeem Williams Jr.
He got that one.
Catch on the right sideline. Burns 2 defenders on his way out of bounds at the 30.
Sorry about my excitement there. That was a great grab. That was a great throw. That is exactly what Whittier needed.
1st and 10 from the 33. It
Look
was
at
so
the
good.
awareness.
We got to look twice.
Just mistimed the swat. And then Williams able to keep himself in bounds while maintaining the grab. Incredible catch.
Avena outside on the left hash marks to Mateko. Makes the grab for a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Whittier can make this interesting again if they can find the end zone.
Still plenty of time. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. 7:40 to go in the game.
Just over a minute, just about 1:20 has been taken off the clock on this drive.
Little pump fake. Now looking for Moises Gonzalez. Finds him. End zone. Touchdown. Bang, bang on a couple of big plays. Hakeem Williams and Moises Gonzalez, the 2 wide receivers that Whittier loves to go to.
Moises Gonzalez using that speed of his, running down the middle of the field. Great awareness by Avena to find his receiver. An even better job by Gonzalez to make the grab and get past the pylon.
I mean, how much time went off? Less than 2 minutes?
Less than 2 minutes, about that.
Just amazing offense.
It was 8:59 when this drive started. We're at 7:31.
Sam Asseh in for the point after, nearly blocked. And it's through the uprights. Once again, a 6-point ball game, 36-30.
The defense just can't stop Whittier. They've given up 481 yards. Any other game, any other team, that should be a loss.
Tell you what, those halftime stats were not wrong. If we're looking at those stats
just look at
the
that
end of
pass.
the game. Just on the money, double coverage, and you still can't catch him.
Laverne has to do a better job on defense. I have said this every week. And their schedule's not going to get any easier. They're going to play some tough teams like Chapman that can really air it out, and it can get ugly in a hurry if they don't fix it.
There's Martavius Holiday deep back to return to kick. He's had a field day on returning kicks and giving Laverne good position. Late flags come on. That's going to hurt one team. Not sure who it's on. It looks like it might be on Whittier, depending on the call. But to Laverne's, I guess, defense, these are probably I think the 2 best receivers in Sky, in Moises and Hakeem Williams.
Number 46 of the kicking team. 15 yards.
That's true, but at the same time, you just have to do better defensively. I mean, you're giving up over 468 yards a game.
46's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Chris, 378 yards passing. I mean, Avena's going to go for 400 by the end of this game. The penalty was on Whittier, so Laverne benefits. 1st and 10 now from their own 41, 7:23. Taylor hands it off. There's Martavius Holiday running up the middle for a nice gain on 1st down.
Across the 45.
Laverne needs to get a 1st down and keep the chains moving and keep the clock going. Because although they've been finding the end zone, Whittier is red hot right now on offense. You do not want the Poets back on the field.
Taylor's going to keep it himself, has the 1st down. Across midfield, tackled at the 48-yard line of Whittier.
It was a first down.
You know, the mental side of this is huge because pretty much anyone watching this game is going to say Whittier's in control of this. But if Laverne just has great mentality, they understand that they have the 6-point lead. All they have to do is contain, put some more points up on the board, take some clock away, and know that they are actually in control of this game.
That's true. And if Laverne wins this game, the key points of this game that turned everything around was the final drive of the first half and first drive of the second half.
Martavius Holiday has a big hole, the 20, the 10. Holiday's third rushing touchdown today.
Martavius Holiday for the
What
touchdown.
a big run. Well, forget everything I just said.
Forget the defense. We want the Holiday.
To quote one of our colleagues that we've called with, some people like Easter as a holiday, some people like Christmas as a holiday. I like Martavius Holiday.
You know, I was going to say Martavius Holiday has himself a homecoming.
6-11 left in the ball game. Score now Laverne 43.
It has been a great game from him, and James Gonzalez have been major factors. Sam Taylor running the ball has been a major factor. And look at the replay of the previous touchdown. Holiday, big hole, and that speed. You will not bring him down in the open field, and you will not catch him.
Not only is he a great player, but he's also a great person off the field. Just the perfect teammate, a perfect leader on this team, and the perfect guy that you want to go to work with on this field night in and night out.
Great guy. I see him on campus all the time in the communications building where you and I thrive. And he's never, always say hi as another huge hit.
I want to see the replay on that one. That was something good right there. Moises Gonzalez absolutely upended.
There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, there's a flag on the play. Not sure if it's on the hit or not, but 43-30, Laverne back on top by 13. 6:07, Chris, but I hate to say it, but it's still not over.
It isn't. And
right? Unsportsmanlike conduct.
The return. Illegal wedge. Number 8 and number 48. Half distance to the goal. First down.
Unsportsmanlike conduct call.
Well, that sets Whittier even further, but they say more yards, more options. They like having a big field to play with, and they got 90 yards. 1st and 10 from their own 10. Laverne's gonna blitz. They send 6. Avina nearing the safety, tackled in the end zone.
The referee saying he was down at the 1.
He definitely got dragged in the end zone after, but where did he fall down? And the refs being a little lenient on the Whittier side right there. Down on the 1.
You see the pressure. Kerry Sanders leading it, and then Preston Carr able to get around the back end.
Now from within the end zone, Avina throws incomplete at the 20. 2nd and 18. They spot it at the 2-yard line of Whittier. Incomplete on the 2nd, so now it's 3rd down and 18. 43-30, University of Laverne leading Whittier College.
3rd and 18.
The band with the little Seven Nations Army on a huge 3rd and 18. Once again, Laverne sending 6. Avina out of the end zone, escapes, finds Moises Gonzalez.
Pass is
but he didn't hold on to it.
Good for Moises Gonzalez.
Moises Gonzalez, that would have been his 14th reception. He's already got 165 receiving yards. And Akeem Williams, 149. And somehow, someway, Laverne with a 13-point lead. I would have told you these stats. When you look at the numbers, when we have a chance to dive into them in the postgame, it'll be the score is not really dictating what those stats indicate. Avina on a regular 4-man rush is flushed out of the pocket on 4th and 18, throwing incomplete, no flags.
Laverne got away with one there.
Intended for Jake Mateko.
Laverne got away with one right there. I saw the pass interference right in front of me, and the referees were not able to throw the flag. Wow. The corner hit Mateko from behind, and then Mateko unable to pivot around him to make the grab.
Our crowd mic is faced directly at the Whittier sideline, and
they're not happy.
There was a lot said, especially by a lot of the coaches running up towards the refs, but they're not wrong. They have a legitimate reason to be upset as Robinson runs it on 1st and goal from the 2-yard line and comes up short.
You're right, because that previous play would have kept this drive alive. It would have had them a lot farther down the field than back at their own 1. Now Laverne in prime position now on the 2-yard line to score and really seal the deal tonight.
The play clock down to 9 seconds. Game clock at 4:25.
Robinson, the ball carrier.
A handoff once more to Robinson, who jumps up and gets upended once again. Not sure if he was able to cross through for a touchdown or not. I don't think he got in there.
I don't think he did. Correction.
Robinson in from 2 yards out for the score.
Well, you can say the Whittier side is not excited about the last couple of calls that these refs have made. But Laverne breaks through with yet another rushing touchdown on the day. A point away from putting up 50 on homecoming. There's Diego Garcia. Drills it once more. Scores now 50-30. And now I think we can officially say that Laverne has got a commanding lead in this game with 4:09 to go in the 4th.
You're right, Billy. It's going to be very difficult for Whittier, especially right now. They're frustrated. They're angry at the referees. They had it there for a moment, but that previous drive really ruined everything for them.
It's pretty rare for fans to be allowed on the field, so consider yourself lucky.
The PA announcer announcing something different for this homecoming for the first time in a long time. For 15 minutes, fans are going to be able to come out onto the field, and you don't really get to see that too often. A 20-point lead. Zuri Clark from his own 10-yard line and gets hit hard, still won't go down, and then is forced down.
I don't know how he does it.
28.
He's been banged up pretty well on these previous returns.
Tyler Lay.
I cringe every time I see him get hit.
And I think this one actually has him a little gimpy. And yep, they're calling for the trainers to talk with Zuri Clark. That was a little helmet-to-helmet action right there, and he's looking a little dazed on the sideline right now. 1st and 10, ball spotted on the Whittier 29. They trail by 20. A new quarterback in for Whittier, and a timeout by Laverne.
Prior to the snap, timeout, Laverne.
Daniel Garlick, the sophomore quarterback, checks into the game.
You got to give Laverne a lot of credit. The way that they've been able to come out and play Whittier the previous, well, now 3 years. They put up 82 against Whittier 2 years ago. Last year they put up 42, and now they put up 50. So they can put up points against the Poets.
I mentioned earlier in the game, this is a very young defensive team for Whittier. 5 starting freshmen. From their 1st and 2nd string on defense, a combined 11 freshmen. That is youth for years to come. And if they can develop under Coach Mike Neal, then this could be a dangerous team, because the offense is there as Moises Gonzalez picks up a 1st down, tackled at the 48-yard line. He's pushing 200 receiving yards right now. This is something special.
That's right. Like I mentioned, if you look at the stats of this game, right now Whittier over 500 yards of offense.
A quick strike to Jake Mateko on the right side, breaking a few tackles, making Robert Franklin look silly, and then Preston Carr wrestles him down. Another 1st down for Laverne.
Almost over 500 yards of offense, winning the turnover battle. I mean, when you look at this sort of thing, you would think Laverne would lose, but credit to Laverne.
Intercepted.
Well, now they evened up the turnover battle, but it's things like that. Laverne has been able, in their wins this year, they have made big plays when it counted, despite losing nearly every category on the stat sheet.
Robert Franklin, who looked silly on one play, comes up on the next play with a big interception on the 2nd string, Daniel Garlick. I tell you, Garlick looked good on his first 2 completions, 2 for 2 for 32 yards. I guess on the interception, 3 for 3.
Ball hasn't hit the ground.
He's finding someone. 3:22 to go in the game. At this point of the game, you just hope that things don't get too chippy.
That's right. You just don't want to see any injuries at this point.
And Laverne now sending out some new hands at QB. A handoff on the right side. It keeps the clock moving.
That's Chris Venegas, the freshman quarterback. He had a little bit of play time last week against Pomona-Pitzer.
Yeah, why not? They lost 49-14, but have bounced back this week, a 50-30 lead. And another new hands in at QB, and another handoff, this time up the gut. Gonzalez on the carry, or rather Robinson getting the hands now.
Now the big question for Laverne, obviously it looks like they're going to take this victory here. How do you come back? How do you respond with this win? One of the things I talked to Coach Creek about last week after the Pomona-Pitzer game is he said this team needs to learn how to respond after a win. And as mentioned after the CMS game, it looked like they had won the Super Bowl. They're taking photos on the field. They're celebrating. Yeah, it was a big victory, but then you got smacked in the mouth the next week. They're going up against Redlands next week at Redlands, and that's not going to be an easy matchup.
That's going to be the game to watch in all of Skyac. Venegas takes it himself on the QB keep. 1st down and 10 into Whittier territory at the 35.
Sean Hamilton making the tackle.
A minute and 54 to go in this 4th quarter. 2019 homecoming game on the campus of the University of Laverne here at Ortmayer Stadium. Laverne hasn't won here for a homecoming game since 2016. It was a double OT thriller game ending in a 2-point conversion. Josh Evans was the quarterback for that game. Both teams over 50 points in that one. McPherson in at quarterback, and he throws very short for the intended receiver, Beeman, on the right side. So we're seeing McPherson and Venegas moving in and out, taking each snap apiece. That time we saw for the first time one of them throw it, and it didn't look too good.
Now what I would like to see is for Laverne to move the chains up just a little bit further for the possibility of seeing Mika Makakau come out for a field goal.
That would be great. Venegas takes a high snap. Robinson on the ground.
Gonzalez to the
But by the looks of it, Laverne's probably going to let the clock run. Some score updates.
She's got a boot on her.
She does. I've seen her at practice. I've seen her high school footage holding the record for longest field goal made by a female kicker in Hawaii, 44 yards.
44 yards.
Back to some of these SCIAC scores. Pomona Pitzer leading Cal Lutheran at home, 14-7. They're nearing the end of the first quarter. That game has a lot of repercussions in SCIAC standings.
All right, now all Laverne needs to do is maybe pick up another first down, and that's nearing that 44-yard mark. Here on another handoff and nowhere to go.
Jonathan Gonzalez, ball carrier.
It's like I saw Diego Garcia drill one during warm-ups from deep. Granted, he was on a tee, but still, that leg power is incredible. But it looks like
that'll be it. As the game clock is down to 3 seconds. That is all she wrote, folks. 2019 homecoming. And Laverne has won this one 50-30. They respond after getting pummeled a week ago, 49-14. Facing a tough Whittier team, and they beat them by 20 points. Whittier gave them everything they could. The deep pass, Keem Williams Jr. and Moises Gonzalez absolutely shredded the secondary of this Laverne team, but they got the stops when they needed to get it, and they got the scores just about every time as well, Chris.
they did, but they gave up 505 yards on offense to Whittier. Now, yeah, they got the W, but you can't do this every game. You can't go to Redlands and win. Give up 500 yards, expect to win.
No.
You can't go to Chapman, give up 500 yards, expect to win. Those are teams that can score when they do get the opportunity. Laverne, 334 yards on the ground. That's great. But Whittier struggles on the ground. We know this. 91 yards in the air. I want to see Laverne. I've said it for the last couple of years. And I'm going to keep speaking to existence. I want to see Laverne air it out more.
Chris, they threw the ball 8 times today.
I mean, it's a winning formula tonight, but going up against these other teams, it's going to be difficult.
Their families are going to be able to come out on the field.
So take a look. Miguel Avino was an absolute star for Whittier. 25 for 38, 367 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. His favorite targets, Moises Gonzalez, Hakeem Williams Jr., combined for 19 receptions and over 300 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, let's credit that triple-headed. I'm going to call it a triple-headed monster at running back for Laverne. You know, Sam Taylor, 111 yards on 9 rushes. That's a quarterback.
Remarkable.
Martavius Holiday, 96 on 15 carries. James Gonzalez, 56 yards on 9 carries. Let's even throw Keyshawn Robinson in, 30 yards on 8 carries. If they can run it like this, they're tough to stop.
And Martavius Holiday, what a homecoming game he had. 96 yards, as you mentioned, found the house 3 times, including that last one in the 4th quarter that just about sealed the deal for this Laverne team to win 50-30.
Including a 52-yard reception for a touchdown. Matt Albright, 2 for 4 for 54 yards. 52 of those yards came on that touchdown pass.
There was also an interception. Gonzalez, a few turnovers here and there, but they had takeaways as well. A few of their own, an interception and a fumble. Both teams lost the ball 2 times and both took it away 2 times.
That defense came up big with 3 sacks, something that they needed to do. They had to put the quarterback under pressure. They forced Avina to make some tough throws. My thing is, they played well tonight, but can they continue? Can they learn from it? The good thing is what I'm seeing on the field right now, this post-game feel, it's different from the CMS game. They know that they still have a lot of work to do. They know this isn't everything right now.
Well, they'll have to learn quickly because next week is a big test. Redlands, who's 2-1 in SCIAC as well, they play later on tonight. The game's still underway. Most likely going to win that game and improve to 3-1. So you're facing a tough, top-notch team in Redlands who rolled away over CMS 45-6.
That's going to be a tough matchup, especially on the road for Laverne. I mean, they're going up against Martinez from Redlands, who leads SCIAC in passing touchdowns with 14. That's a team that can air it out. Martinez also leads SCIAC in rushing touchdowns. So they're virtually facing another Carter Oderman that they faced last week.
And that didn't go well. 49-14. The defense couldn't stop them. The offense couldn't really get anything going outside of that fourth quarter where Taylor was able to rush for 2 touchdowns. So Redlands next week, and if they can come up big on that one, they got Occidental on the road, and then 2 huge home games against Kowloon and Chapman to end off this SCIAC season, who are both undefeated teams. This is a team, Chris, if they can leap over that hurdle of Redlands next week, they can definitely be a SCIAC contender this year.
I think if they can win 2 of these Final Four, it's miles beyond where they were last year, but also a lot to look forward to.
Well, for Shane Rodriguez, Christopher Livingston, I'm Billy Lopez. Final score here at Ortmayer Stadium in the 2019 homecoming game, Laverne 50, Whittier College 30. Good night.